There's a lot of Australia on this record, probably more Australia on this record than I've ever had. So to come home and play it for the first time kind of feels important, meaningful. I mean, the record's the story of my life over the last 3 years, you know. It was through kind of a tough time of life and then sort of came into a really amazing time of life. But that tough period was kind of, I felt like the switch got flipped in my hometown. It was like just the right kind of grounding and perspective that I needed at that time in my life. And it was shortly after playing a show with John Williamson at the Opera House too. I remember afterwards he was like, "Why don't you write a song about Newcastle?" And I was like, that seems like a good idea. I want to try to do that. And so that's where Steeltown was born, and it was the start of that journey as well. So it's track 1 on the album, it's the title track. Yeah, I guess in some ways it's a love letter, yeah. The song Land I Love is probably the thing that stands out as a highlight. There's a fella named William Barton, who's a First Nations Australian. He's a legend here, didgeridoo player, but arranger and just musician in general. Yeah, his parts on Land I Love, firstly the fact that he wanted to be part of the song, but I mean, if you just hit play on that track, you'll hear it. It's just like, there's a weight to it that couldn't be there without him. So I think that's the most unique and probably for that reason, the most sort of special moment on the record. There was no rules on this project, hey? There was no kind of like master plan to this thing until the end when it was sort of came time to choose what songs made the final cut. And that was kind of the hardest part, you know, 3 years of writing songs. I don't know how many there were, but a lot more than 11. And then cutting it down to 11 to make sure that there wasn't any double ups. There's no songs that say the same thing twice. There's no songs that feel similar. It's just like each one does its own thing and tells the story, and really kind of went deep on that, and yeah, sort of took that part pretty seriously. So maybe that was the part of the creative process that was different to albums before. Yeah, God, that's a big question, hey?
Yes.
What's happened in the last 11 years? I don't know. That's a big question for everyone, hey? I feel like, I mean, if you're into country music, Nashville is the greatest place in the world. You know, it's so much of it came from there. It started there. I think for me, and the music I grew up on, it wasn't very lyric forward. I remember just like a lot of the punk music that I grew up on, or Silverchair, like my favorite band, and there was a lot of country music there, but I don't think like I connected with the lyrics because I was so young, you know, as a kid. And so I think learning what a great lyric is and learning how to tell a story properly through a country song, I think is the thing that's changed the most. And the thing that I think I've fallen in love with the most and that I want to chase after the most. Like that's the thing that keeps me coming back and trying to do that better each time. So I still think that's like the magic of Nashville as well. So the storytelling. It was so epic. Yeah. It was so, we went to training the day before and like got to meet all the fellas, and yeah, it was just, it's like the most Newy thing you can do, you know? I don't know if folks from other towns or whatever quite get that, but getting to play Steeltown at the Knights game was special. And actually when I wrote that song, Steeltown, the second line in the chorus was like, the first line's "that old lighthouse shining down," and the second line was "the sound of a Newcastle Knights crowd." So it's like fully like a Newy thing. And so I changed the line back for that gig, and it was cool, real cool.